In a relational database, data is scattered across tables so it stays organized and avoids duplication. SQL joins are the glue that temporarily pulls these tables back together, letting you answer questions that one table alone can't. Knowing which join to use lets you control exactly which rows appear in your results and why. So let's jump in. So firstly, let's look at an inner join. So here we have a simple employees table with an ID, name, department ID, and manager ID. We also have a departments table with an ID and department name. And the employees table references the departments table via the department ID, which points to the ID on the departments table. In this query, we are selecting the employee ID and name from the employees table and the department name from the departments table. From chooses data from the employees table, and then we are using join. We could also use the inner join keywords as they do the exact same thing, and we are joining on the departments table where department ID on the employees table matches the ID in the departments table. And this joins all rows from tables that satisfy the join condition. In this case, it is only rows where department ID from employee matches a department ID from the departments that are kept. Any employees without a department or departments without an employee are simply dropped. And so if we look at the result, we can see Alice works in HR as she has a department ID of 1, Bob works in engineering as he has a department ID of 2, and Carol is not included as she has no department ID. So which rows survive? Well, only those that satisfy the join condition. What happens to rows without a match? Well, they are simply discarded. And then the typical use cases include finding intersecting data. So in this example, employees who belong to a department and many-to-many bridges. So for example, finding students who are enrolled in a course. Next, we have left join. And again, we've got the exact same employee and departments table. And then the inquiry is identical, except here we're using the left join keyword. And so this joins all rows from the left table. And in this case, the left table is the employees table. And so every employee is kept, matching department columns are returned when they exist. And so as you can see, we have Alice and Bob like in the inner join, but we also include Carol, even though she doesn't belong to a department. And that is because every row from the left table is kept. So which rows survive? Well, every row from the left table, which is in this case, the employees table. And so what happens to rows without a match? Well, they are kept with null for the right table columns, in this case, the departments table. And then typical use cases include audit or data quality checks, so finding employees whose department ID is invalid, or finding optional details, so listing blog posts and if they have, their most recent comment. Next we have right join, so again, same employees and departments table, and the query is identical except we're using the right join keyword. And so in this case, the reverse happens. Every row from the right table, in this case the departments table, is kept, and employees show up when they belong to a department. So as you can see in the result, we have HR with Alice, engineering has Bob, but marketing has no employees, so we have null for the left table columns, in this case employee ID and employee name. So which rows survive? So every row from the right table, in this case the departments table. And what happens to rows without a match? Well, they are kept with nulls for the left table columns, in this case the employees table. Typical use cases include show all category views, so inventory counts even for products with 0 sales, migration gaps, so potentially listing departments that still need staff assigned to them. But in reality, most teams will skip using right join and simply flip the table order and use a left join instead. Next, we have full outer join. And so again, we've got the employees and departments table. The query is the same, except we're using the full outer join keywords. And so here, all rows from both tables are kept and they are matched where possible with nothing being dropped. So as you can see, Alice is in HR, Bob is in engineering, Carol has no department, and marketing has no employee. So which rows survive? Well, all rows from both tables are matched where possible, nothing is dropped. And so what happens to rows without a match? Nothing. It's the union of left and right joins. Typical use cases include before and after compare, so if we're merging two snapshots and want to flag, added or remove rows, as well as synchronization scripts, so potentially detecting items present in one system but not another. Next we have cross join, so we have a colors table which has an ID and a color, as well as a sizes table which has an ID and a size. And so in this query we are selecting the color from the colors table and the size from the sizes table. We're then using from colors to select data from the colors table and cross join on sizes table. And so this produces all color size combinations, so we have red small, red large, blue small, and blue large. So which rows survive? Well, it's the Cartesian product, so every row of the left with every row of the right. And so rows without a match, well, nothing happens. And then typical use cases include generating matrices, all color size combinations for a product, as well as potentially data science grids. So if you think of every model hyperparameter combination. And lastly, we have self join. So again, we have the original employees table here where every employee has an ID, name, department ID, and manager ID. And in this query, we are selecting data from the employees table, which we are aliasing as MGR, short for manager, and then using a join on the same employees table, which is being aliased as EMP, short for employee. And we are then selecting name from the MGR alias table and naming that column manager in the output table. And and then we are getting the name from the EMP alias table and naming that column as direct report in the result table. And finally, we are joining where the EMP manager ID equals the MGR ID. And so essentially here we are creating a table of managers and their direct reports. And as you can see, both Bob and Carol report to Alice. And so which rows survive? Well, rows that match within the same table according to some relationship. Rows without a match, well, they are simply not included. And then typical use cases include kind of hierarchy, so manager to employee or parent to child categories, as well as relational comparisons, so finding customers who live in the same city. And to recap, when you see inner join, think returning only intersecting rows. For left join, keep all rows from the left table. For right join, it's the reverse, keep all rows from the right table. For full outer, then keep everything from both. For cross, you are going to be producing every possible pairing. And for self, we are comparing rows within one table. So hopefully you've got a better understanding of how SQL joins work. If you got any value out of it, please like and subscribe and share it with a friend. It helps the channel out a lot. And if you want to stay up to date on the most up-to-date technical interview questions and solutions, be sure to check out techprep.app. And hopefully I will see you in the next one.